as a priestess, it's really great. It keeps me on my toes. The inmates ask questions from perspectives that other people don't really have. Many of them are learning Wicca from one or two books. They don't have the opportunity, obviously, to come out to festivals. They are limited in how many books they can have, not only financially, but by the rules. So they read one or two books, and what those books say is it, as far as they know. Then they hear something different from someone else, and they're confused, so they write to us, and we explain everything.
Has your ministry found any hostility among prison officials, or are they supportive of what you do?
Yes, and usually. We do, of course we find hostility, because, I mean, corrections officials are people, just like anybody else, and they have their own opinions and attitudes towards things, and the same misunderstanding of paganism that is still out there in the rest of the world is equally present among them. So we do have to deal with some officials who mistake paganism for Satanism, for example, and who just don't think if it's not Christian or Judaism or Muslim, it ought not be there. It's not real, and it shouldn't be there, and it's not good for them, and they are a little resistant. But we're overcoming that. It's much better now than it was 7 years ago when we started. So it's dealable with. It's all dealable with. It's no more opposition than we find anywhere else. I mean, you just heard somebody's coming around dropping anti-pagan literature on everyone's table, and that's dealable with too.
Does your organization have relationships with other prison ministries, either pagan ministries or non-pagan ministries?
We're trying to do that. There are 4 of us on our board. 3 of us are active volunteers at this point. And one of us goes in, I write, and we have our treasurer. And that's it. We have a finite number of hours in the day. We would love to get more volunteers who can do those things for us. We do know a few other pagan prison ministries in other states, and you know, we keep in touch with them by email when we can. But there's no except online where there's a couple of groups. There's no like big organization of pagan prison ministries that we can go to an annual meeting or anything like that. I wish there was.
How are you finding your relationships with the greater pagan community, finding volunteers, working with people?
A lot of people say, that's great work you're doing. It's not something I could do. And just as in the general population, probably half of pagans think that if you're in prison, you belong there. And you don't deserve anything. You broke the reed, you violated some rule, you broke an oath. You know, do your time and then talk to me. Of course, we feel most inmates are going to get out one day. 96% will be released. And we'd like to help them change their way of thinking about things before that happens. And of course, there's their constitutional right to follow their religion, and we kind of respect that. And the other thing is, of course, when Goddess says, go do this, we're not going to say, don't feel like it. We're not going to do that. Most people are not called to prison ministry in any faith. We don't get any active opposition from the pagan community, and we do get people making donations and helping as they can, but a lot of people are scared of it. They don't want to commit. We ask volunteers to commit for at least 1 year. And a lot of people can't do that. They are comfortable making a one-time donation, or they'll look something up for us on the web and give us the information, and then they're done. But visiting and writing, we want them for at least a year.
How has it transformed you or changed you, or what has it done to you to be involved?
Well, I think it's made me a better priestess, because it has widened my perspective as a priestess. So I have more ways of explaining things to other people because of the work that the inmates make me do as their mentor. It's clarified my position for me as a priestess. On the outside world, if I'm someone's priestess, I get to tell them what to do in a fairly wide area of their lives. But an inmate, I'm mentoring because I can't teach personally the way I would one-on-one, in person with a regular person. So it's made me have to expand myself as a priestess.